Welcome to the Middleware Tech YouTube channel. In this series, you'll learn about static keyword. All code examples used in the videos will be available on GitHub. Let's get started.
Last day we talked about two types of variable, local variable and instance variable, right? So we have another one variable that is called static variable. Sometimes we use the term called class variable. Okay, so that we have not talked about. Today we'll talk about a statics A to Z. Everything we'll talk about a statics using a small hands-on, and so that it will be completely, there should not have any doubts on static. So let's move. So first point about a static, I want to say, first point about a static is that it is a keyword in Java. So we have lots of keyword. This is another one keyword. So if you want to see the list of keyword, I can show you the list of keyword. The list of keyword is there. Not here. Yes. So just see here, these are the list of keywords that is there in Java. So these keywords are inbuilt name. So we cannot use this keyword to create any user-defined component. Like you cannot use this keyword to create your own class or own variable, own method. These are the predefined keyword. Okay. So these are the keyword that is available in Java. So we're talking about a static keyword here. We're talking about a static keyword here. So let's talk about it. So let's see. Let's understand this is static. So in every point we try to understand writing some code, then only it will be clear. Theoretically it will not work. So assume I have one class and the name of the class is department. This department is a class. Fine. So inside this department class, I have one instance variable int dpt id. Fine. Okay. And I assume this dpt id is 20. Now this department class, so and we have one method also, void so dpt. This is a method, and it is just printing the department id and department name. Assume another one instance variable is a string dpt name. Fine. Okay. So assume dpt name is admin. Fine. Now we have two instance variable inside the class, and this is a method, and inside the method I'm just printing both the instance variable value. So system dot out dot println and print both of them. dpt id, just say separation slash and dpt name. Fine. Now here this is simple Java class dpt. Two instance variable we have, and we have one method. Fine. So how I can call both of them? What you have to do? I have to get a main method, public, static void main string here.js. This is the main method. How I can call this instance variable and method of a class? So process is that you have to create an object of a particular class. To call an instance variable method of a class, you have to create an object of a class. That means what I'm going to do? Creating object. That means object creation. That means I have to create an object dpt d equal to new dpt. I have created dpt. I have created a department class object, and using this object, I'm calling this method like d dot show dpt. So what we have done? Creating an object, I'm calling the method. Creating an object, I'm calling the method. And it should work fine. There is no error. It should work fine. Let me check it is working or not. Let me check it is working or not. Now this time we'll create it not Notepad. We'll use Eclipse IDE. So Eclipse IDE you can download. It is fully downloadable. Just write download Eclipse IDE. Google, you'll get the link. So I have downloaded this Eclipse IDE, this version. Okay, so you can use this version, Eclipse, and I'm just opening that Eclipse. It is fairly downloadable. You can download and extract, then it will come like this. Then you have to go inside the Eclipse folder and double click on this exe file. It will open the IDE. So we are using this IDE. IDE we should use very easily. You can compile and run the code. Okay. Required Java version 1.6. Okay, what is the error? So it is giving some error. Okay. It was working earlier. Okay, let me check Eclipse VB. It's giving some error. Let me check that error. I'll check and I'll go with that. So before that, what I'll do is that let me execute the same class in this Notepad approach only. Let me execute it first. Fine. Okay. So copy and go inside your folder and just open, Control V. So this is the department class. Department class is there, and if you want, you can use some package. If not using package, it's okay. Nice. Now this is a simple department class. Just see here, there is no use of a static. Nothing is there, right? Simple department class. It is simple department class, and inside this class we have some instance variable. We have some method inside this, and what I'm doing in the main method, I'm creating an object of the class and calling this method, right? The simple task, there is no complexity, nothing is there, simple task, just have to execute it. Let me check how it is running. So file save as dpt.java. Okay, just save it. Fine. And then I'm going to compile and run. Okay, so come into that actual path. I have to come inside the same path, right? Just see here, this is the path. I came inside the same path. See, right? Okay, now I have to compile and run this code, right? So just write, as you know, Java C dpt.java, fine, and then Java dpt. So it's working fine, right? A simple class and creating an object of the class. Creating an object of the class in the main method. I'm calling the method, right? And it's working fine. There is no use, no issues. Fine. Now we are talking about the static keyword. So what is this static keyword and why I'm going to use this static keyword in Java, right? See, the purpose of using this static keyword is that I can access the instance variable and method creating an object of the class. The question is that can I access instance variable and method without creating an object of the class? Just see here, please. Question is, can I access instance variable and method without creating an object of the class? Now in these examples, I have created an object, then I'm going to access, right? Can I access instance variable and method without creating an object? This is the question. Fine. So can I access can I access this or not? Yes, we can access. In that case, we have to use a static keyword. We can access. In that case, we have to use a static keyword, right? So just see here how we can do it. So solution is static. Solution is static. Okay. So how it is, right? How it is, right? So just see here, please. Just see here. Second scenario, fine. Without creating an object. This one is an creating an object, and this one is without creating an object. So if I'm going to do it without creating an object, so how it is? So just see here, please. So this is the second scenario, right? So without creating an object means using class name. So in that case, I have to, let's disable this line. Since I'm using a static, let's disable this line. Now what I have to do, I have to make it a static. So make this a static instance variable. I made the instance variable as static. Fine. Then the second one, I want to make it a static, right? And the method also I want to make it a static, right? So now inside my class, I have inside my class, I have static instance variable and static method. So static instance variable and static method I can access without creating an object inside my class. How? Just directly write here dpt id, it will work. Just write dpt id, it will work. Now see, I'm not going to access using creating an object. Just directly write dpt id. It will not print, right? So you have to print it. System dot out dot println dpt id. Then it will print. So if you want to print, write something, you can write did equal to find deptid equal to this. It will print. Now see here I'm not creating with using object, right? Just I'm writing dptid, right? Now this dptid I can call using class name, right? So without creating an object, using class name I can call it dpt.dptid. So I'm going to access it without creating an object with class name. Fine. So same things we can do it. Same things we can do it for the second scenario. So just see here dpt name. Fine. Dpt name. So if I'm going to use dpt name, so just write here dpt name. Should work. Fine. See here, I'm not creating access them, creating an object of the class. I'm using class dot attribute name. Similarly, the method also I can call. How dpt dot method name. Show dpt. Fine. So just see here. Just see this. Now this scenario, second scenario, without creating an object, I'm going to access instance variable using class name and right as well as a method, right? So what you, let me check it's running or not first. Let me check it's running or not. Control C, go to inside your class. We have already created EB, right? See this class, I updated one. Control V, fine, save it. Now compile and run this class. Compile and run this class. Fine, so Java cdpt.java and Java dpt. See, it's working fine. See, it's working fine, right? Right. So that means what? That means what is that static variable and method we can access without creating an object using class name. Fine. So we got another one point about a static. Just see here, please. Static variable and method we can access without creating an object, without creating an object, right? That is using class name. Fine, it is working. See here, using class name I can access this and it is working fine. So that is the first point I talked about. Static is that static variable if I want to access, then without creating an object I can access. Fine, first point. Second point is that this static variable I can access using class name. I don't need this class name also. I've used dpt.dptid, right? I don't need this class name also if this main method is in the same class. Again, I'm saying this static variable value I can access without class name. That means I don't have to write dpt or dpt, just write dptid. Just write dpt name. Just write this static method. So what we find, static variables and method we can access we can access without class name if main method is in the same class. It will work. Just see here, please. It will work or not. Just see open db.java. Fine, and just remove this class name. Just see here, I've just removed the class name. Fine, here also I've just removed the class name. Just see, please. Here also I'm just removed the class name. I've removed, right? Yes, just save this and let me check it's running or not. Compile. Running fine. So that means what? That means what? Just see here, please. We got another one point about a static. The point is that another one point we got, right? The point is static variable and method we can access without class name if main method is in the same class. Correct? We got another one point. Static variable and method we can access without class name. Without class name, without class name, right? Right? If this main method is in the same class. Correct? If the main method is in the same. That's it. We got another one point about the static, right? Fine. So fine, right? So using department class, we got 3 points about a static, right? And we find that it's working fine. It's working fine. So this is the advantage of using a static. That is one point that without getting an object, I can access static data member and method. Now see here, we have another. I'm coming to the another one features. So just see here, this is a department class, and in the department class, I have, if you see the main method, this main method is a static. You may get some question in Java like why this main method is static? What is the purpose? See, public we talked about, right? Public is a strong access specifier. If I use this public access specifier for method level, it will be available everywhere. If I use it for class level, it will be available everywhere in the different package, subclass, same package, different package, derived class, everywhere that class will be available. And if the variable is public, then it will be available everywhere. So it is a strong access specifier. Fine. Now in your main method, you'll find this static. Just see here, when you write this main method, you'll find this static keyword. The question, very common questions will come, why this main method is static? It's a very common questions in Java. Why main method is static? Fine. So let's try to focus here some input. Why this main method is static? Okay. So what I'll do is that let me write a simple class. If I have written this class earlier also. Assume this is my class. Class hello world. Hello world. Fine. This is my hello world class. And just see here, please. Public. I'm just writing the main method. Fine. Public static void main string args. Fine. So this is a simple hello world class, and I have written a main method inside this class, and inside this main method I'm printing some statement. Just see here, please. System dot out dot println. I'm just printing on a string like welcome to Java 8. So if you see this class, in this class, if you compile and run, am I creating an object of this class anywhere? No, right? Just see here, please. Just see this. Just see this class. In this class, I can compile this class and I can run it. Now, when I'm going to compile and run, am I creating an object of this class? No, I'm not creating an object of the class. It will print this statement. Correct? Why? How? I'm not creating an object of the class, but it will print this statement. How? Because main method is static. Because this main method is static. That's why what is the purpose of using main method static? If your main method is in static, then you don't have to create an object of the class. Since your main method is static, that's why it will print this statement without creating an object of the class. Fine. So that is the one point, you'll get it. That is one of the very common questions that comes. Okay. Okay, so let's move with another one point about static. Another one point. I've told you 3 major points about static, right? Next, move with the next point about static. Another one important features about static. It's very, very important. Like static data member value can be shared by multiple objects. Static data member value. Static data member value can be shared by multiple objects. It's a very important features. Very, very important in Java. Now, what does it mean by this, right? Static data member can be shared. So let's understand this using an example. Let's understand this using an example, else it will not work. Let's understand it using an example, better to understand. Just let's do one example, fine, right? Just see here, please. I'm writing a single class. Assume this is a class A. Fine. So inside this class A, I have 2 instance variable, int A equal to 5 and static int B equal to 6. So this here, I've created a single class. My class name is A, and we have one instance variable, and the value of this instance variable is 5, and we have one static variable B, and its value is 6. Right? Okay. Now inside this class, already we know constructor, right? So assume this is my constructor. This is a simple constructor inside the class. Okay. And inside this constructor, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do A++. The here, please. It's a post increment operator, B++. So I've done the increment for 2 variables. Post increment operator I've used, and after that I'm going to print both the variable value, system dot out dot println, right, and printing both the variable value. So I'm writing here A equal to plus A plus B equal to plus B. Fine. So Now see here, I'm just printing both the variable value inside the constructor. Fine. And let's come to the main method. Public static void main string args. Okay. Now see, inside this main method, I'm creating 3 objects of this class. A, obj1 equal to new A. First object we have created. Fine. Control C. I'm creating 3 objects. Okay. Control V. Control V. 3 objects I have created. Assume it is obj1. It is an obj2. And it's an obj3. So I have 3 objects. So when I'm creating this object, it is calling the constructor, right? It's a default constructor, right? So it's calling this default constructor when I'm creating this object, and it will increase the value of A and B and printing the value of A and B, right? So it's a very good example. So just check, just execute and check and tell me what is the output. Just execute and check, because from this output we try to get one of the properties of a static. Fine. So just execute and check what should be the output for this program. Right. So if we execute this program, a.java, right? Control C and come inside this code. And if you come here, Control V, right? Fine. So file save as a.java. Fine. Save it. A.java, right? Okay. Save it. Now here, I have to compile and run, right? Fine. So compile and run this code a.java. Let me check what is the output. The C here, please. I'm going to compile and run this code. Okay. So Java C a.java compiled, right? Then I'm going to run it. Just see here, please. Java A. Now see what is the output. If you see this output, A value is 6 and B value is 789. Please see this output. A value 6. A value first time A value equal to 6 and B equal to 7. Second time A value equal to 6, B equal to 8. Third time A equal to 6, B equal to 9. Fine. Fine. Okay. So this is output. Fine. Okay. Now the question is that why the output is like this? That we have to think. Now see, this A is an instance variable. This A, it is an instance variable. Okay. And the post increment operator, it is increasing the value of A. Here I'm creating the object 3 times. So when I'm creating the object 3 times, it will call the constructor 3 times. First time constructor called, post increment operator increase the value of A, it becomes 6 from 5. Second time the constructor called, post increment operator increase the value of A 5 to 6. Third time constructor called, post increment operator increase the value of A from 5 to 6. So A equal to 6. Fine. Now why this b value is increasing like this? See, b is a static variable. B is a static variable. When it is a static variable, this static variable value, fine, it is shared by multiple object. How it is? See, in the first scenario, when I'm creating the object obj1, it will increase the value of b from 6 to 7. So value of b earlier value of b was b equal to 6. Now when I've used b equal to 7, right? So b equal to 7, it is inside which object? obj1. Inside obj1, b value is 7, correct? And when I'm creating the second object, obj2, it will check what is the current value of b in all the available object. What is the current value of b in all the available object? So all the available object is obj1. So what was the value of b in obj1? The value of b in obj1 is 7. Then it will increase the value of b from 7, b equal to, it become 8 in obj2. Right? Fine. That's why b equal to 8. Now when I'm going to create a third object, so in the third object, it is going to call the constructor. So this constructor will be called. So in this constructor, it will increase the value of b, right? Now when it is going to increase the value of b plus plus, so it is a static variable. So it will check what is the current value of b in all the available object. In the last object, value of b is 8. So what it will do, it will increase the value of b from 8 to 9, and that will be the value in obj3, and b equal to 9. So you see there is some difference between instance variable and static variable. The difference is that static variable value can be shared by multiple object, whereas static variable instance variable value cannot be shared by multiple object. Static variable value can be shared by multiple object. That's why whenever you are going to do some post increment operator for your static variable, it will check the already available value of the static variable in some other object. Yes, and then it will take the last value and it will increase that last value, and then it will go to the next. So that's why this static variable value, it will increase as 7, 8, 9. But instance variable value is fixed. Every time object created, constructor called, it will increase the value from 5 to 6, 5 to 6, 5 to 6, right? So this is the thing, you know. That's why we say that that static variable value can be shared by multiple object. Okay. So it's a very important features of static variable value, because using these features, lots of things we'll do, especially ID generation. Okay, let's see in the same code. What I'll do, I'm going to write one instance initializer here. I'm going to write, or if you want to write it here, that is also fine, no issues. I'm going to write an instance initializer. How it look like? This opening brace and closing brace. This is how it will look like. Fine. Okay. Now inside this instance initializer, what I'll do, I'm just writing one, just printing some statement. System dot out dot println inside instance initializer. Fine. So let's see how it work. Okay. Fine. So let's see how it work. So this instance initializer, I have to copy inside my code, right? This is the code. So right here, instance initializer, and right, save it. And let's compile and run, see the output. What is the difference in output? First I have to compile, and then I have to run. Let's see this output. Let's see it. First static block is called. Fine. Then inside instance initializer is called, then the first constructor. Instance initializer, second constructor. Second object constructor. Then again instance initializer, again third object constructor. So what happened is that before constructor is called, this instance initializer is called. Correct? Before constructor is called, this instance initializer is called. Right? Yes. So that is the point, that instance initializer will work as a pre-initializer for your constructor. Assume some of the, in which scenario we generally use it. For initialization code, we always write inside a constructor only. Sometimes you may find initialization code inside the constructor is more, or I want to execute some code as a pre-initialization for my constructor, then I'll add those code inside this instance initializer. It will work as a pre-initializer for your constructor. So that's why before constructor called, this instance initializer is called. Right? And if you see the scenario, first static block is called, then instance initializer is called, then constructor is called. You remember, if I have static block, constructor, and instance initializer inside your class, then first static block is called, then instance initializer is called, and then constructor is called for each object, right? For each object before constructor, instance initializer is called. So this is the sequence of execution. You'll not get it everywhere, but some of the code you may get this instance initializer. Its use is optional. You may get somewhere. Fine. So this is the use of instance initializer in Java code.